As Marika was indicating moments ago, we meet at a particularly critical moment for international environmental law and governance. Over the past year, two major global processes have helped shape the trajectory of environmental governance, UNFCCC COP30 and IUCN World Conservation Congress in 2025 in Abu Dhabi. These milestones remind us that addressing the planetary crisis requires not only stronger commitments, but also stronger legal frameworks, institutional coherence, and practical implementation mechanisms. For example, when it comes to the IUCN World Conservation Congress in 2025, it marked an important step forward in advancing the Kunming Montreal Global Biodiversity Framework, particularly in relation to rights-based conservation, the recognition of OECMs, and the integration of nature into broader governance systems. COP30, of course, I won't go into detail about this as there's a later parallel session. We'll have the opportunity to further discuss this. But what I wanted to say is that taken together, these developments underline a simple but profound reality: climate stability, biodiversity integrity, as I'm sure Jorge will be speaking about in a few moments, and sustainable development are inseparable. For lawyers, policymakers, and institutions working in international law, this creates both a responsibility and an opportunity. A responsibility to ensure that the commitments adopted at the global level translate into coherent national legislation, effective governance structures, and enforceable legal mechanisms, and an opportunity to advance new legal innovations, whether through climate litigation, strengthen environmental rights, improved governance of ecosystems, or deeper integration of climate and biodiversity frameworks. From the perspective of institutions such as the Hassan II Intl Centre for Environmental Training in Morocco, the IUCN World Commission Environmental Law, or initiatives such as the Climate Law and Governance Capacity Registry, we clearly see that capacity building, legal innovation, and international cooperation will be decisive in translating global commitments into real-world impact. I look forward to the rich discussions ahead and to the ideas that will emerge from today's exchange on how we can strengthen legal frameworks, deepen synergies across climate and biodiversity regimes, and advance sustainable development in an increasingly complex global context. Thank you, and I wish all of us a very productive session.
Thank you so much, Ayman. And a special thanks to you for your tireless efforts as Vice Chair of the IUCN World Commission on Environmental Law, as well as for being our host, not from Abu Dhabi, but from the IUCN in the World Conservation Congress, leading so many fascinating activities there. I should also say, and Ayman is tired of me saying this, but I will emphasize it anyway, that the IUCN's World Congress of Environmental Law that he hosted in Rabat in the build-up to the World Conservation Congress was truly one of the most brilliant international conferences I have ever had the privilege to attend. And seeing the strong interest, especially in encouraging early career scholars and doctoral students and master's students who wanted to intervene in this space and were invited and supported to do so, and able to meet with future mentors and colleagues was truly remarkable. So it was an intergenerational event as well as an incredibly rich, substantive event with absolutely fascinating work. And I do think that the reason for the success of the environmental law agenda in the World Conservation Congress can be directly traced to that incredibly successful symposium that Ayman chaired and organized and hosted, and stayed afterward to clean up the the smart words from. So thank you again, Ayman, also for that incredibly valuable effort that brought the entire community together. Truly remarkable.